Okay, so the next two we have to talk about is plantar flexion and dorsiflexion. So these are two of the most common things we do specifically with the foot and the ankle. So there are other versions of this kind of plantar flexion and dorsiflexion as it relates to the wrist, but it's not something you're going to talk about very often since so many of us either, are involved in sports or we're involved in fitness or we have an interest in sports and fitness. Obviously, what's happening in the leg is an extremely common thing that we want to discuss. So very simply explained, plantar flexion is movement that moves inferior movement. This is why last time we had to go over these terms inferior and superior. Okay? Superior means towards the head and inferior means away from the head. Okay? So when the foot and ankle move away from the head, that's inferior motion, that makes it plantar flexion. Okay? Plantar flexion. And when we have, for dorsiflexion, it's movement that moves superiorly. So, again, this motion is starting here, start, end, start, end. So it's moving superiorly. I know she's sitting like in a 90-degree angle, but again, not all the times in mechanics are we always standing in that anatomically neutral position. Oftentimes we are in motion, we're moving around, we're running, or we're even sitting or standing, something like that. So just like all these other things that we've discussed, we have to remember about the start and end. In this dorsiflexion graphic, look at the band. The band is attached way over here. So that means she's moving away from the band. Okay, start, end, right, in this motion, which makes it dorsiflexion. Because if we look at the previous slide, they look identical. The ankle's moving back and forth, you're pointing your toe, you're pulling your toe, you're pointing your toe, you're pulling your toe. But in this case, since she has the band in her hands, the starting position is here. Ending position's there. Start, basically she's starting in dorsiflexion, she's ending in dorsiflexion. Starting in dorsiflexion, ending in dorsiflexion. So again, I cannot stress enough how important it is when you're watching the videos today in your quiz that you think about the start and the end of the motion. Okay? The start and the end of the motion. That determines whether it is flexion or extension. The start and end determine whether it's abduction or adduction. The start and end is what determines whether it's plantar flexion or dorsiflexion. You have to pay attention to that.